Sorry, I wasn't recording before. Let me record now. Yes. So assuming the market was in a downtrend, was in an uptrend rather, creating a series of higher highs and lower highs, and higher lows rather, higher highs, higher lows, then higher highs. Then let's assume it breaks it and come back to it. Breaks it, then test. Now this this is an uptrend, obviously. This is an obvious uptrend. So this is the supply zone, this is the demand zone. So in between this place is known as the middle of the trend. Yes, this is where I want to bring you guys attention to. This place is known as the middle of the trend. Do you know? And this place is known as this is the trend. You know that is an uptrend. And in between here is known as the middle of the trend. Do you understand? Because this is the supply zone, this is the demand zone, this is the middle of the trend. And as traders, we are looking for good opportunities to buy and sell. And the best opportunities to buy and sell is at the demand and supply zone. And in between here, in between the demand and supply zone is known as the middle of the trend. So one speaker is on. Okay. Someone left the chat. Wow. Yeah. Secondly. Now in between this place is known as this is the middle of the trend. In between the supply and the demand zone, known as the middle of the trend. Now why am I saying this? Now I'm saying this in the sense that this Maribuzo, Doji, spinning top, and Pimba. Okay, what happened? Okay, but don't worry, it's being recorded, so you guys can go through it again. So now in between this place, the Maribuzo, the Doji, the spinning top, and the Pimba. You understand? Now this everything like this. I told you that Maribuzo means. I said Maribuzo. I said Maribuzo. The Maribuzo candle shows momentum, shows market momentum. You see, it shows that okay, if it was red, it shows that sellers are in control because of the large body. I told you this is known as the body of the candle, and this line is known as the wick. So I'm driving somewhere, so you guys should stick with me. We're going to get it. This is known as the wick or shadow, and this is known as the body. So I told you that a maribuzo has little or no wick, if you can recall. It has little or no wick, meaning showing strong momentum, showing strong sellers momentum. Do you understand? So now, anytime you see a maribuzo in the middle of the trend, it has little or no effect in the market. Do you understand? Anytime I see a maribuzo or a doji, so anytime you see a maribuzo, a doji, a spinning top, so anytime you see a doji, a maribuzo, a spinning top, or a pin bar in the middle of a trend, it has little or no effect on the chart. Do you understand? It has little or no effect. But anytime you see either of these four candles at a zone, that is at a supply zone, at a demand zone, then you need to take note of them because they mean something at a zone. But in the middle of a trend, like I said, they just mean continuation of the trend. For example, now if the market is in an uptrend like this, and you see a doji in between, in the middle of the trend, or a spinning top, a maribuzo, or a pin bar in the middle of the trend, it means it has no effect. But the time they begin to have an effect is at a zone, at a minor or major zone. Anytime you see them at a minor or major zone, just know that okay, something is about to happen, because they both mean something. Like I said, in maribuzo, red or green, it means, if it is green, it means buyers are in control. It means because this is the body, and this is known as the wick or shadow. Because a maribuzo has little or no rejection, it means it has a strong momentum. If it is green, it means buyers are strongly in control. If it's red, it means sellers are strongly in control. And if you see it at a zone, just know that just know that it's going to break that zone and it's going to keep coming. It will break that zone, it will retest and keep going up. But if you see this once here, this once at a zone, just know that a reversal is coming. Now let me show you what I mean. Now, because I told you the market, this market always informs us what's about to happen in the market. Always informs you. It doesn't just make a move. Before it moves, it always informs. Do you understand? And how does it inform us? It informs us through these candlesticks. Like I said, this candlestick is the relationship between buyers and sellers. You see, the relationship between buyers and sellers is what this candlestick shows us. I told you, like now, this is the 15-minute time frame, and like I explained, one of this candle shows you what happened in 15 minutes. And look at, in 15 minutes of this candle, it shows you that buyers were in control of the market. And look at this one, shows that in this 15 minutes, sellers were in control. So now, obviously, this is an uptrend, right? So you take your trend line. So now this is how you do your trend line. You mark the higher highs together like this. You mark the higher highs. This, it doesn't need to be perfect. You mark it and mark it into the future. Now, why are you marking it into the future? The reason why you're marking it into the future is because the market can come back to respect it. Do you understand? Anytime, like now, I told you the market is dynamic, it moves. That's how you draw your trend line into the future. Now, if the market gets here, the market can rest and respect it and come down. And you take on that one and you what? And you connect the lower highs, the higher lows rather. That's why I said you draw it into the future. It doesn't need to be perfect. All you need to do is mark out the zones. Do you understand? Just mark out the zone. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just mark out the zones. Just show rejection and just mark out. Just mark into the future, because markets can get here and respect it and go back up. It get back here, come back, respect it and come back down. That's why you mark it into the future. Now, obviously, this is an uptrend. And in between this uptrend, the market is buying. The general trend of this market is buyers. It shows that buyers are strong. Hello? Someone's mic is on. Do you have a question?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So now we know that the general trend of this market is an uptrend. It shows that buyers are fully in control of this market, right? So this is what it means, uptrend. But like I said, the market is an equilibrium market. The market can't buy too much without selling, and it can't sell too much without buying. So what does it mean? Anytime it goes up, there will be a retracement. It will come down a bit, then it will go back up, come down a bit, go back up, and come down a bit. So now I told you this up move is called impulsive move, and that little come down a bit is called correction or retracement. Do you understand? It's called, this is impulsive, this is correction. This is impulsive, this is correction. This is impulsive, this is correction. So now, why are there correctional moves here? It shows that for a while the market was up here, and suddenly people became afraid that this might be the end of it up here. So some people started selling. Do you understand? Now the market corrected itself because buyers were fully in charge. So the market came back at an equilibrium. It corrected itself and went back in a general trend. So the market can't buy too much without selling. That's why even in a downtrend, you'll notice it will go up like this, come down, go up, come down. Because I told you the market moves in zigzag, impulsive correction, impulsive correction. It cannot buy too much without selling. It can't sell too much without buying. You understand? Even though the general trend is up, there'll be moment of retracement, and all those retracements are good entry points. And like I said, retracements are zones are known as minor support zone. Like I told you, this right here is a resistance, because this was the highest point the market got to. So this is a resistance here, and this particular place is known as this particular retracement here is known as support. And this was the previous support. So the market got here and started buying from here. So you mark here as a minor support. Now, I told you that these candles, this if you see these candlesticks in the middle like this, example now look at this right here now is a mariboso. Do you understand? This is a mariboso here in the middle of a trend. Do you understand? It just shows you that okay, it shows you that okay, for a moment sellers are in control here. In between the trend, it just shows you there's a continuation. Look at now this at this point. Now is this now at this point here, mark notice this. When the market was going up, as it touched this trend line, like I said, the anytime the market is the trend line, which is a dynamic, the up trend line, which is a dynamic resistance, what happens? The market comes down and hits the downtrend line, which is a dynamic support, and it buys again. When it hits here, it sells. When it buy, it goes back up, it sells. So when it got here, something happened. Something beautiful happened. What happened? It formed a look at what did it form? What did it form here? It formed a gravestone doji because the body is too small. You can't really call it a pin bar. Do you understand? The body is way too small to call it a pin bar. This body here is way too small to call it a pin bar. You understand? A pin bar should have at least a small big body. This is way too small. So you can call this a gravestone doji. Like I told you, gravestone doji means buyers are dying at this point. And I showed that this long wick here means that the price went up for a while and came down. Do you understand? If you see this thing, this candlestick, this gravestone doji at a zone, just know that buyers are dead there. Just know that when buyers got there, they all died. That's why it's called gravestone doji. They buried them there. And what happened immediately? The market started selling. It started selling. Do you understand? It started selling. That's why when you see this, you wait for your confirmation. Wait for your confirmation candle because the market won't go above it again. That and it's sold for a while. Even though the general trend is in an uptrend, you wait for buy opportunities. And this right here, this retracement here, at this point here, is your buy opportunity to enter another buy. Do you understand? Because the market is impulsive, it corrected itself for a while and it's continuing in the trend. So if you understand what I'm saying, type yes on the chat box before I go further. Because right now, we'll be talking about deeper things in the market. So if you understand, type yes on the chat box. Awesome. Okay, Mr. Kunle said yes. Awesome. How about T-Spec? Okay, T-Spec said yes. Good, good. So, yes. So now this right here is a gravestone doji. So when it got here, what happened? Like I said, let me go back. Let me go back to this drawing board to explain some things about this. Okay, let me jog our memory a bit. I said gravestone doji, or the general principle of a doji means indecision in the market. Do you understand? But I also explained what the principle of a weak means. This weak means rejection. Do you understand? It means strong rejection. So it means before the market came to an indecision, buyers pushed the price up, but sellers brought it down and said that okay, we are closing an indecision. It means there was a strong rejection, there was a strong buy rejection. That's what this long week means, and I'm sure we all can remember. So that's why anytime you see a gravestone doji like this at a zone, just know that buyers have come to an end and the market will sell for a while. Do you understand? Now let me look for more examples. Look at this now. Look at this. The market got here. The market was buying. When it got here, what happened? When buyers died, what happened? It formed a gravestone doji. Can you see? And the market started selling. Market started selling. Market started selling. Look at. So now it's not no, you might not see a gravestone doji all the time, but you see other candle confirmations that shows you that okay, buyers are losing control. Now look at this. Do you guys remember the pin bar? Now I said there are two types of pin bars. We have the bearish pin bar and we have the Okay. I said we have the bearish pin bar. This is the bearish pin bar, and we have the bullish pin bar. So now, if you see the bearish pin bar on the chart, just know that this long wick shows a rejection. If you see that the zone, know that buyer price are being rejected there, either green or blue. Like I said, look at what happened. Buyers, look at it got to this trend line. Look at this was the highest point the market got. When it got to this dynamic support, like I explained, anytime it gets to this support, what happened? Buyers lose control and sellers step in. So when it got here, what happened? You saw a pin bar like this at the zone, showing you strong buying rejection. You also know that okay, after a pin bar, you wait for your confirmation, and these are the confirmation. Then what happened? You step in. Then if you enter your sell after this confirmation here, the market will go up for a while, then begin to come down, come down, come down, come down, and you just close in profit. Do you understand? So now I told you, if you see all these candlesticks at a zone, they are important. But if you see them in the middle of a zone, just leave them. They don't mean anything. Do you understand? As I always mark out your zone before a trade. Once you mark out your zone, it will be easier to find buy and sell opportunities. Now, these candlesticks are good entry points. They help us know when to enter the market. They help us know when the market is ready to sell and when the market is ready to buy. Do you understand? Now, the market was buying for a while here, and when it got here, there was a strong rejection and it formed a bearish pin bar. And what does bear mean? Bear means sell. Just know that okay, it has formed a bearish pin bar, meaning price actually got here for a while, but there was a strong rejection at this support zone. It means the support zone is still valid. It means sellers are still at this support zone. That means the market is going to sell now. And what happened is sold. Do you understand? So the market always speaks to us through candlesticks. Through candlesticks. Now let me look for another example to show you. This is very important, my people. Please let's listen, because we still have a whole lot of candlesticks to talk about. Because I told you we'll be talking about candlestick patterns after uh, addressing what these four candlesticks mean at a zone. So if you see them in between, so look at it here. This is a spinning top, or yes, almost a spinning top. But this is a pin bar. We call this a pin bar. This is a bearish pin bar. Look at when it happened in the middle of a trend, nothing happened, right? Look at it here. Nothing happened. But when we got here, we saw a doji, a gravestone doji. Just know that at a zone, then these candlesticks begin to make sense at a zone. If you see them at a zone, they begin to make sense. But in between the zone, like this, in between the trend, they don't make sense. But when you see them at a zone, please take note. They are saying something. You get? They are saying something. They are saying something. Please don't forget they are saying something. Um, Let me look for more examples. Now look at this. Look at this here. For the time being, that for the time being the market got here. Let's assume this was two. Let's assume okay, forget this place here. Forget this place here. Let's assume what is 21st of look at 21st of February. Let's assume that was when you entered the market. Let's assume that was the current time of the market. And at this current time, this was the highest place, right? Before the market started going up later in the future. But assuming this is the present time, this is the highest place, right? You will mark it as your resistance, right? So now if you mark that zone as your resistance, you know that, like I said, always mark out your zones. So now, and I told you that these candlesticks, these candlesticks, they tell us something at a zone. Now look at it. Look at this. When the market got here to this resistance, this minor resistance, what happened? It formed a candlestick pattern. It formed a candlestick rather. There was a candlestick here. What is this? Please, I want us to tap it on the chart here. What is this? It formed. Yes, Mr. T-Spec. Also, Mr. T-Spec, yes. That is why I said it's good to be a complex trader. Yes. Yes, you are right, sir. You are right. because we don't just enter the market on one reasons. Do you understand? We enter for so many reasons. Now, I taught you guys, I started teaching you guys demand and supply zones, meaning when the market gets to your demand zone, it buys. When it gets to your supply zone, it sells. Now, I'm giving you candlestick. I'm showing you how the market reacts when it gets to that zone. And the way you know how the market reacts is through candlesticks. Now, look at this reaction. When it got to this supply zone, what happened? It formed a gravestone doji. Mr. Kune was right. He formed the gravestone doji, showing you price actually got to this zone. And when it got to that supply zone, what happened? There was a strong rejection, showing you that this supply zone is valid. That means the market still respects this supply zone. What happened? It started to sell. Look at it, started to sell. And when it sold, then it didn't go beyond this place. That means this place it became the support. And when it got to this support zone, what happened? It formed spinning top. Look at spinning top, spinning top, spinning top, spinning top, spinning top. What happens? And I told you what spinning top means. Spinning top means um I said if you see spinning top like this, just know that if it is green, just know that buyers are losing momentum. If it is blue, if it's coming at this, if you see that this demand zone, just know that sellers are losing momentum. If you see it as a supply zone, know that buyers are losing momentum. Now look at this. We saw a spinning top here at a demand zone. What does that mean? It automatically means sellers are losing momentum. And what happened? You wait for your confirmation candles. This is a confirmation candle. The market refused to go below here. Then the market began to go up, began to go up, began to buy for a while. Do you understand? Began to buy for a while, began to buy for a while, began to buy for a while. So that's why it is always good to mark your zones. Please, and I told you guys, marking your zone with dynamic and static resistance, dynamic and static supply. Please don't forget, always mark your zones with trend lines and horizontal lines. Please always mark your zones. Please don't forget to always mark your zones. So don't forget, if you see these candlesticks at a zone, then they become very important. But if you see them in the middle of a trend, you can ignore them. It just shows that okay, continuation of the trend. But if you see them at a zone, please know that they are saying a message. Please don't forget that if you see them at a zone, they are passing a message showing you that okay, something is going on somewhere. It shows that buyers and sellers are losing control. You see, like I always say, this is a movie. This thing we are seeing here is a movie. Look at this one now. This one here now. This the body is very small here. You can call this a dragonfly. You can call this a dragonfly because look at the body is way too small to call it a spinning top, a pin bar. So this is a dragonfly doji. Look at when the market got down to this demand zone, what happened? The market actually got down here. This long week shows you when the market got here, the price was rejected and it went back up. Immediately, what happened? The market started going up, even though it bought for a while. Let me see how many pips that is. Look at 22 pips. It went up 22 pips, even though it bought for a while. What happened? When it got there again, it was rejected. So this, if you look at the overall trend, a this will probably be a consolidation before the market finally went up. Yeah, it was a consolidation. It's a consolidation. Market consolidated for a while. That's why okay, the class will end. This class will time out in 10 minutes. The time out in 10 minutes. So I'll rush through these four candles. So the next time you are joining the class, I'll talk about the candlestick pattern. So let me quickly brush through these four candlesticks here now. The class will time out in 10 minutes, so I'll rush it now. When it got here to this demand zone, this zone, like I told you, it's more than a line, it's a zone. What happened? There was a rejection and it went up for a while. And when it got here again, it formed the dragonfly, went up, formed the gravestone, came down. Do you understand? Look at here, it formed the spinning top. So you can see any of this. If you see any of this at a zone, understand them as I understand their basic principles. So that when you see them at a zone, you can understand what the market is trying to communicate. Do you understand? The market don't just move, it communicates to us before it makes a decision. Do you understand? Like I said, the market lives, it communicates because human beings are the one. The market is showing you what is going on between demand and supply. So human beings are the one buying and selling. Do you understand? So it will communicate a relationship, a human relationship, which is a buying and selling relationship. So these candlesticks, don't forget, if you see a Maribuzo, Doji, spinning top pin bar at a zone, they are saying something. But if you see them in the middle of a zone like this, ignore them. But if you see them at a zone, please take note. Especially if you are seeing a long week like this, long week showing you rejection at a zone, just wait for your confirmation and immediately enter. Do you understand? So like I said, you can't use a candlestick, you can't use these candlesticks in isolation. That is why you use them together with your trend line, use them together with your horizontal lines. Do you understand? Use them with your horizontal demand and supply lines, and use them in conjunction with your demand, your trend lines. Do you understand? We don't use them in isolation. Like Mr. T Spec said, we are conference traders. We look for more than one reasons to enter a trade. So if you are entering based on this alone, sometimes you might not obey it. Oh, as I always say for your confirmation. Do you understand? For example, now this is a zone. You know that okay, good. This is valid because it's as a zone. But if the trader doesn't mark out his zone and he's seeing it here and he believes that oh this is a doji, meaning indecision, and this is a gravestone doji, meaning sellers are about to step in. Oh my god, the man has made a mistake because it is not near a zone. Oh, he's just losing this as in isolation. He will fail because market data came down, went up. But if he saw this at a zone, then he can know that okay, it is valid because now he has seen more than one reason to enter the market. He has first noticed that okay, it has touched the supply zone, which is the first reason. Number two, it has formed a candlestick pattern, a candlestick, and which candlestick? It formed the doji, a gravestone doji, which means buyers are coming there to die. Gravestone, they came there to die. They died at that zone. Do you understand? So this is the second confirmation. What does that mean? You've had more than one reason to enter the market now. That means jump into it. Do you understand? So please, you guys should always practice what I'm teaching you guys on the demo account. Do you understand? Keep practicing them. The more you practice, the better you get. The more you practice, the better you get. Please, the more you practice, the better you get. So yeah. So the class will time out in few minutes now. So before it times out, tell me, do you have any question? Because do you have any question before we proceed? Do you guys have any question? Please, if you ask question, ask because I'm going to talk about candlestick pattern now. So I won't talk about this. I'll talk about candlestick patterns. So because candlestick is wide, so we still have a whole lot to cover on candlestick. Not for now. Okay, awesome. Mr. Kone said he doesn't have any question for now. How about T-Spec? Hey, and please, you guys not yet. Awesome. Please, I gave you guys a book. Please read that book. That book will shed more light on this too. Please, that book will shed more light on this. So yes, the class is about to time out now. So you guys should join the class in 5 minutes. Please join back in 5 minutes. Join back in 5 minutes. So I will end the class now. Oh, sorry. Join back in 10 minutes. Please join back in 10 minutes. Join back in 10 minutes. So the class will end now. Please join back in 10 minutes. So we'll talk about candlestick patterns. Join back in 10 minutes. Awesome.